Welcome to Bainbridge Island. This is a community with no Walmart, a community that wants no Walmarts, and a community that kind of despises Walmart. And why is that? So I do have a bio. Hi, everyone calls me Looney. I'm the entrepreneur in residence for the Bainbridge Graduate Institute, and I am the founder and managing director of Fledge, the conscious company incubator. And I'm going to answer this question today. To do that, we need to step back to the beginning of the 20th century. So 1900, the per capita GDP average in this country was just $5,000 in today's dollars. 40% of Americans were living under the poverty line. 40%. To compare this, this is worse than the stats from China today. And in terms of technology, fewer than 5% of American homes had electricity or telephones or central heat or running water. So how, in 100 years or so, did we come to this rich, modern world that we all take for granted? Well, it wasn't a new form of government. It wasn't foreign aid coming in from Africa, right? It was business. It was electrification from GE. It was telephones from AT&T. It was cars from Ford. And it comes all the way through to smartphones from Apple today. So if business did all this good back then, what's up with Walmart? Why do we hate them so much? Well, something's missing from Walmart and companies like that. What's missing is purpose. A purpose that goes beyond profits. A purpose for making that company, making the world a better place by the existence of that company. And so this doesn't really jive with what we hear on CNBC and the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal every day, which is that the purpose of business is to maximize shareholder values. So if that's true, how can businesses do good? Those things just don't mix. And the answer is, it's not true. Right? We hear it every day, but it's false. It's never been true. It never will be true. And what may surprise you is neither Congress nor any state in this country have ever passed a law making it true. So what's the purpose of business? Well, what we teach at BGI is that to have a company, you need customers. You need to bring something to market that customers buy. You have customers, you have income. Without any income, you have no business. It's not that simple, though, because any company of any size needs employees. And you need to pay those employees. If you ask Walmart how much, they'll say as little as possible. That's shareholder money. If you ask in a more enlightened company, they'll say, well, you need to pay a livable wage. You need to give them health care. You need to treat them right. And that's not the whole story either, because those employees and those customers, well, they come from communities. And if you have a company and it pollutes or destroys, well, then you lose customers eventually. And if you have a company that embraces the community and builds it up, well, then people love those companies. Case in point, T&C. So we go in there, they serve us great food. You see the same people every time you go in there. Why? Because they treat them like people. Right? And if you look at the sign, you'll notice it's not even advertising food. It is literally advertising community benefits. Same thing's true for Ben & Jerry's. In a second. So Ben & Jerry's is a small little Vermont creamery. It supported its local farmers. It gave some money to charity. It did quite well as a business. It still does. So how do we know that these businesses are actually doing good? How do we know that this marketing is for real? Well, if you've not heard of it, there's a group in Philadelphia. They've created a certification program. It's called B Corporations. And they measure how well the companies treat their employees, treat their vendors, treat their community, and treat the environment. You've heard of some of these companies that are certified. Ben & Jerry's, Patagonia, Method Soap, Seventh Generation. You're probably some of their customers. Right? Fledge, my company, is one of these companies. 700 companies in the last 5 years. What's really exciting is that it's gone now past certification to incorporation, to law. Over a dozen states in this country have now passed laws that allow companies to state a social purpose in the charter of their business. Maximizing shareholder values is not necessarily what they have to do. And so, Walmart has a choice. They can join this movement. They can start building up communities instead of destroying them. They can start empowering employees instead of exploiting them. And every company has this choice. Because what we have now is a movement that says, with proof, that it is possible to do good and do good business at the same time. Thank you.